Good morning, everybody. Um, you can go ahead and stay on standing. Um, I just wanted to open up this day with this little opening, recognizing of the day, the energy of the day, calling out, giving thanks to all the corners of the cosmos. Which way is the east? All right. All right. So to the east is in the language Nahuatl, we say Tlawiz, Tlampa. Tlawiz is the light, and Tlampa is the directions, the place of the new beginning where the sun begins to shine on us. And so as I blow this Tekakoli, this conch shell, go ahead and put your positive vibrations and your prayers out into that direction and give thanks to those elements that come from that direction and the guides and the ancestors. Auskamati. And we'll turn to the north. I was following you. And this, and so into this direction of the north, the name we give it is Miktlampa. Miktlan is a place of transformation and rest. Tlampa is the direction and the place. And so this is where the ancestors and the wisdom comes from. So once again, when you hear the sound, put your positive vibrations and your prayer into that direction, into those elements, into the guides, to the ancestors. We'll go ahead and go to the west. And to the west, this is Siwat Tlampa. Siwat is the woman, and Tlampa is the place of. So this is the place of the woman, the direction of the women. So the direction of knowledge and wisdom, that sensuality, the sensitivity of the women. So once again, when you hear that sound, put your positive vibrations and your prayers for those guides and those elements of this direction. Siwat Tlampa. We'll go to the south. And to the south, it's, the name we give it is Wislampa. Weasley is comes from the name of the hummingbird. The hummingbird represents internal will, having that strength to stay afloat. But as small as the heart it has, but it keeps on beating, it stays afloat. So this is the direction of that will. So once again, when you hear the sound, put your positive vibrations and your prayers. Give thanks for this direction of these elements and the guides and the ancestors. And we go ahead and go on face up above, put our thoughts up above as the creation shines down on us. This gives us those rhythms and those pulsations for everything that we need, giving us that sustenance, giving us that masculine energy. And then we'll go ahead and, if you can't touch the ground, just put your hand to the ground, acknowledge the ground, and of course this represents the earth. That's that feminine energy, that mother energy that she gives us that food, clothing, and shelter. She gives us that nurturing. She gives us that understanding and that sustenance. And so once again, definitely put your positive thoughts and prayers and vibrations once we hear this sound, and let's send it to the earth. And we'll go ahead and do one more. You can all stand up. You put all those directions together, you get that seventh direction, which is the center, and it's those elements, and you bring them together, you get the entity the which we know as a human being. So this is for everything that comes from all those directions, and then they meet in the center. Thank you. You can be seated now. So good morning once again. Thank you for coming and joining us beginning this day. A little bit about myself once again. I do come from many tribes and many peoples. From my mother's side, Shumash, the coastal people of California. From my father's side, the Kickapoo people from the Ohio Valley, and my family, they migrated down to Mexico during the cavalry wars, and then the Mexica as well. But also the word that my grandmother here could not pronounce is Chichimeca. And Chichimeca is one of the original peoples of this continent. And the name translates into Chichi, which comes from Chichiwale, which means the breast. And Mecca is the rope. And so these people are the ones that were tied to the breast, which is the breast of the mother, which is the earth, the planet. And then Mexica, I like to go by Mexica as well. I have an elder, he passed 2 years ago, and his name was Tlaka Ele. And I carry it with me now. The way he described the word Mexica, he translated it into being a planetary citizen. And when I heard that, I was like, yes, that's what I am. I'm a planetary citizen. And I walk with that, with this identity of being Mexica, being a planetary citizen. To the sunstone, many people are familiar with the sunstone. They also call it the Aztec calendar, and sometimes they call it the Mayan calendar. I was born into, what qualities I was born into. And then I put it into my memory bank, and then I walked into the, I guess you call it the civilized ways of the educational systems. I kind of forgot who I was and my identity of what it is to be a Mexica. And I try to fit into the system, educational systems. And so for about 10 years, until I was 25, I was reintroduced by going back to the ancient sites of Mexico City for my first time as the zenith passage, as the sun passes over the face of the earth. I was there to witness it, this astronomical movement, and also bring in those energies of the ancestors. And I was able to go to various sites in Teotihuacan, Malinalco, and Xochicalco, and just being able to take in those energies that kind of woken me up, reawakened me to my true identity of what it is to be a planetary citizen. Also, people, they say the Aztec calendar. The Aztec calendar is, this word can be broken down as well. The Aztec, the AZT can be broken down into a word, is Asli, which means a harmonious instrument. And the TEC or TEK is the people, so it's the people of the harmonious instrument. And so when you see the Aztec calendar, this is a calendar of the people of the harmonious instrument. And it's people that are acknowledging and recognizing themselves as the qualities that they're born with, and utilizing those qualities and those energies to find their true potential and their full potential as this time around as a human being walking this journey. Yes, and so that's where we are today with the Aztec calendar. It's been about 20 years plus years that I have been walking with it, understanding it, sitting in the crowds as you guys are sitting today, listening to the spoken word, the oral tradition from my father passed down to me. And at some point questions were being asked to me, what does this mean, what does this mean? And it responsibilized me to really understand what this is, what this calendar, what it means, what it represents. Why was it created? And why is it still here? Why is there still the temple sites, the ceremonial sites, why are they still standing? And so with that, I dove into the Tonolama, the Tonomashio, the Aztec calendar. Yeah, so a little bit about the Aztec calendar. Who is familiar with the Aztec calendar? The sunstone. A little bit. Okay. So here's a question. Can anybody guess what year the sunstone was created when it was carved out of the rock? Just one guess? No? 10,000 years ago. That's a good guess. I'll give you a tip. There's a tip. The tip is 13. Anybody? 13 million, 13,000. Those are close. Those are close. So then, yeah. So the year 13 is the tip to that is the year is 1479. So the sunstone, as we know it, the Aztec calendar was created and it was carved in stone in 1479. And so, why is 13? Does anybody get it yet? So 13-year cycles, yes, is correct. 13 moons is correct. So if you, I'll tell you the answer. If you take 1479 and you plus 13, add 13 to it, you get 1492. And so this, to me, when I discovered that fact, I was like, wow, it's brand new. That was quote unquote 13 years before the New World was discovered. And I was like, wow, this is brand new. Technically, it was buried for 700 years, and it was uncovered again in the year 1700. And so yeah, so brand new. Not many people knew about it except the ancient ones, and this information was covered up. This information was covered up from the top of Alaska to the tip of Chile. This information, the mound sites were covered up. Go back into the past by going to the future. In the year 800, there was a continental gathering in Xochicalco, which is in the state of Morelos. And in the history books, they say there was a gathering there where Mayas came and Mexicas came and other astronomers and observers. They came to start beginning that recognition and acknowledgement of the record taking and everything that was passed down to them from the previous generations. So that's the year 800. Oh yeah, and then so in the year 800, in the year 800, so in the year 800, they're going to go 200 years or so later to 1064. The people of the Valley of Mexico, Mexico, they said they left on a 260-year journey around the continent. Who knows what they did, but I feel that they went to start to correlate all the calendar systems and speak with all the elders and all the peoples of this continent to start to bring the calendar systems into correlation. And so they say they came back 260 years later in the year 1028, I believe, and they say that they came back and they started to establish what is known as the Aztec Empire. And so that's 1328, and then another 100 and about 50 years later or so is 1479. This stone was created. So once again, when I found this out, I was like, well, so what does that mean to me is they took 260 years to go out, and they had to, talk to everybody, get their calendar systems down, and bring it back. And they couldn't put it into stone until everybody came into agreement. And so after they came back through those journeys, they came back to Mexico City. And so if you find the mound sites, the mound temples, Cahokia, the mound bottom here, there's mounds in Milwaukee. And if you do the research, they'll tell you around the year 1300 in Cahokia, the people just picked up and left, and nobody knows why. They just left everything it was, how it was. And in Milwaukee, there's a lake there, and they say inside the lake there's a temple, a pyramid, as they call it. And in the inscription, it says, around the year 1300, the people left for some apparent reason. But in this description, it says they went to Mexico. They follow those ancient migration trails. And so just coming back to bring that, house that knowledge back to Mexico, where Mexico City is at today. They say that Mexico is the umbilical to the cosmos. So anytime you want to connect, as you would as a child through your umbilical cord, you go to Mexico City and you connect to the cosmos and you begin that communication that way. And this is the reason on July 26th, the sun passes directly over the face of the earth in Mexico City, and it has been since the beginning of time, and we feel it will still keep doing that. So I've been doing this, and over the years, I've been gaining this knowledge and been acquiring different tools to help me to explain it to people, and I've been picking up instruments along the way to help me to express, to show you how a planetary citizen I can be, and how much of a harmonious instrument I can be. And the last couple minutes, I have a 10-minute video that I put together that will give you more of an understanding, introduction to the tonomashio, the pattern of the sun. And so I will begin that now. This one as well.
Rick, we have a yellow light on this mic. It's not working.
So right before I play this
Is this
video,
on? This is on here.
as soon as I play this. Yeah, so a little bit of explanation about this video. It just came to me like we left 3 days ago from California, and it came to me like a day before that how this video was going to happen, and it's an interesting little correlation or synchronicity. I walked in towards the end of in the middle of Chico Enlightened's presentation, and he had glyphs, and he was showing images, and so when you see this, you'll see a similarity, a synchronicity to it. So just enjoy it, sit back, relax, breathe in and breathe out, and repeat that process, and enjoy it. Thank you.
I am Tonal Mashiot, the pattern of the sun, the rhythm of the cosmos. I am the center of the universe and the beginning of time. I am Sipaktli, crocodile, the beginning of evolution of all living beings, the initiator, number one, even with no number two, watch, follow, or wait, but get out of the way. I am Ehekat, the wind, our breath of life, the medium of all living beings. It carries the sound and scatters the pollen. It symbolizes harmony and creativity. I am Kali, house, our home, a refuge, a house of thoughts. This is a safe place for reflection and regrouping for the comprehension of all living beings. Quetzalcoatl, lizard, our maternal womb, representing the Mother Earth associated with fertility, nurturing, and the capability of regeneration. I am Kowat, serpent, our knowledge and wisdom, represents energy and fertility. Of the senses, it represents the touch, and is associated with the twins and the earth. I am Mikistli, skull, our silence and transformation. The skull represents the re-evaluation of life and of death and of things done and left to be done. Do not hesitate. I am Masat, deer. The deer symbolizes our agility, instinct, intuition, perception, and sensibility, as well as all the fauna. The deer is activated by the energy of the sun and is a messenger of love and peace from the ancients. I am Toshli, rabbit, our multiplicity and taste perception. The rabbit represents the fertility of the earth and all living beings by the lunar influence. They are very independent, yet are always giving to and providing for others. I am At, water, our growth. It is a vital element, and it possibilizes life and purifies it. It adopts the shape of the container that holds it. It is the duality of fire and has constant creating activities and is penetrating and perseverant. I am Isquintli, dog, our loyalty and fidelity. He is the best friend and a guide with the capability to transform him and all that surrounds him. He loves to travel, but will not forget where he comes from and always returns to his place of origin. I am Ozumatli, monkey, our grasping, comprehension, and agility. The monkey exhibits mobility to all directions without regard to neither heights nor distances. He also symbolizes recreation and happiness. It is also the symbol of the dance. I am Malinali, herb, our umbilical cord, and the constant regeneration of nature. It also represents all the green plants, trees, etc., as these are all medicinal if we use them wisely. I am Akat, reed, bamboo. Our internal self conduces heat and energy, represents intelligence, observation, analysis, memory, and the subconscious. Through the subconscious, he can be at all places and see all things, even with his eyes bandaged. Akat can unite the collective intentions to make even nature fulfill its mission. I am Ocelot, jaguar, our listening and audacious and tenacious guide, and a champion of the just cause. He is a guardian of the house of creating energy, Teokali. I am Kwautli, eagle, our vision, a solar symbol. This is the physical and spiritual renovation, purification, and cleansing of ourselves and our environment. Here is the presence of freedom and liberty, and a guardian of the house of creating energy, Teokali. I am Koska Kwautli, condor, our youth and a moment of reflection and remedy. Reflect to find the teachings, to remedy the faults, find life where there is apparently no life. Olean, movement, our lips, and the movement of our heart, the essence of life and of existence, directly related to activity and creativity and the constant movements of the universe. I am Tekpat, flint, our tongue, the word, profound, pointed, and sharp. This is a profound method of study and analysis to truly comprehend things and then produce endearing concepts. I am Kiawit, rain, our teardrops. It is peaceful yet furious at its time. Sensitivity, the concept of Tlalok, Tlali, earth, Oktli, a drink, what the earth drinks to give us life. I am Shoshi, flower, our completion, maturity, artistic and spiritual creativity, ready to produce fruit and seed. It represents artistic and scientific creativity. Donal Mashiot, the pattern of the sun, the rhythm of the cosmos. I am the center of the universe and the beginning of time.
Thank you. I hope you enjoyed that. I put a lot of energy, a lot of energy into that. Not just right here on stage. Yeah. Thank you. And I have a workshop today at 3 o'clock to 4:50. We'll go into a little bit more of this type of interactive information. I think, is that my time?
You're not out, you've got time.
All right. I have more time.
About 7 minutes.
Okay. So our workshop is, it'll be a little bit more about that. What you saw was just the day symbols, what are known as donalis, pieces of the sun. And these symbols, those will be the missions of these pieces of time. And each of those symbols, they come with a respectable cosmic companion, which is the responsibility, and they come with energies and capabilities to help fulfill that mission. Like today is the energy of Malinali, which is the herb, the plant, the trees, the flowers, everything that is green. It is known, Malinali is recognized as the umbilical cord. It is our human beings' umbilical cord to the planet. If we cut our umbilical cord to the planet, we no longer get our sustenance, we no longer get our nutrients, we no longer get what we need, which is oxygen to breathe. And so this day, this 24-hour piece of time, is about that medicine. It's about what you hear, what you see, what you feel, what you taste. In this 24-hour piece of time, see it and recognize it as a form of medicine. And as always, use your medicine wisely, because if you don't use your medicine wisely, then you might just be a wise guy um, so that's what day it is today. It's the day of the malinali, the plants, the herbs. What? Yes, and with this also, this type of information, you're able to find what year and what day that you're born into, and what qualities that year and that day, that time and space has, that holds. When we take our first breath of life, it connects us. It connects us to the earth. It connects us to the source. It lights up our sensors, activates our chakras. And so whenever we're walking, it's kind of like a signature, a wavelength. As we were walking, our wavelength, it goes out there, and this is what it truly is to be an instrument of harmony. Because when we identify that energy that we recognize that we were born into, we become responsible for that self, which is us. And then when we recognize and when we identify that everything around us is like us, we begin to become responsible and identify with everybody, because you become part of us, you become part of each other, we become part of each other, and we become responsible for each other in a harmonious way. With that golden thread that we connect when we take our first breath of life, when we're in harmony, it vibrates and is in tune, and it rings a chord, it rings a note. And so when we're all harmonizing and vibrating with each other, it's like an orchestra. When we're happy with each other, we're resonating the orchestra out. And as we're walking, our thread, our golden cord is being lit, and we're weaving with each other. We're making a beautiful weave and a braid around the planet Earth, and she's feeling those positive vibrations. The planet Earth, it feels whatever we feel and whatever we think. She takes it in. She doesn't say much about it. She just takes it in and holds it, and every once in a while she lets us know how she feels about it. And so the idea is become a planetary citizen, acknowledge the elements of life that we breathe in every day, because that's what we are. That's what we're part of. The space dust, the stardust, that's part of us as well. So just acknowledging that and sending positive vibes out to each one of everybody. And then when they feel that, they're going to resonate with that. And the planet Earth is going to feel that. Think positive thoughts. I like to think positive thoughts and attract clouds, make myself cool, make it cool all around me. And a lot of people have been praying for rain. And about a month ago or two, I was like, what about the clouds? Let's pray for the clouds, because in the clouds, water travels in those clouds, and they build up and they collect, and they help to keep things cool. So just keep those positive vibrations going, keep those positive thoughts going, so my name is Abel, and I like to say you're able too. So everyone is able to be. So just keep on going. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. We have a question. Grandmother has a question. Yes, the name of the instrument that I was playing is recognized as a didgeridoo, or the indigenous name is a yadaki. But this one here is indigenous to this land. It's made from the center of the maguey, the century plant, the big cactus where the flower comes out the middle. And so this is the stem of the flower. This is the top of the flower of that cactus. And so it's pretty light. Traditional didgeridoos are about like 5 to 10 pounds, and this is maybe even a pound. And so my friend Evan Perlman, he helped me make this one day, hollowed it out, and it's pretty nice. I was told that it sings to the chord of the earth, the C chord, and resonates with that. And I was also told about the C chord. It's also when we hear the Om. It also makes that sound. So it's connecting with the earth when I toke on my flower stem here. So I think my time is up. Yes. The shell that I blew, Tekakoli in the language Nahuatl, it comes from the ocean. I actually picked it up at the Santa Cruz flea market for $10. I saw it at the beginning of the day. I said, "Oh, that's gonna be mine." I went and played it once. I left it there. I came back at the end of the day. He wanted $20. I gave him $10, and it's been with me for about 5 years now. And it's the biggest shell I've seen. And I'm looking for another shell. I was told that there's only one place the shell actually rotates the opposite direction. So if anybody ever finds one of those, or two, you can send me the other one. Yes.
Must be a Cherokee when they always go down.
Yes. So thank you. Thank you, everybody. See you later.
Stand up and give this man a hand. Thank you.